So as you're watching your son kind of mature and grow both in golf and in life, just what's it like from your side watching this happen?
Um, it's just about the coolest thing that you would think that it would be.
All right, welcome back to the Whole Story podcast. This is Robby Woodard here with Jonathan Hill and some guests that we will introduce here shortly. But we were coming off another great week of golf, another elevated tour event, Jonathan, RBC Heritage here in South Carolina. It was great. If you watched it, came down to a playoff. Jordan Spieth was there again, trying to go back to back. One of the highlights of the weekend, Patrick Cantley had a hole in one. But Jonathan, what was your take on the tournament? What stood out to you?
Yeah, I felt really bad. Well, I didn't know which direction they were going to go once they paid the 18th and they went back to 17 and 18. I'm thinking, couldn't you at least throw like a different hole in somewhere? Because Spieth kept hitting it to the exact same spot on the left side of the hole or right side from his perspective, and the poor guy just couldn't get any closer. And obviously, on that last hole, no one could have gotten closer unless you drained it from 200 yards out. The thing that stood
Yeah,
out for me was if I ever get a chance to play there, maybe Robbie will invite me over to his state someday. Number 11, I'm not sure I don't know if I've ever seen an entire hole completely lined up with like 20 yards of fairway. It just looked like the scariest thing ever. I think it goes back to probably pitching wedging the whole time, just so I'm not stuck in some tree somewhere. So, looked to be a lot of fun. I know I had some friends that were from the upstate that went down. So, what about you?
yeah. I mean, like we said on last week's show, it's quite the different thing from the Masters. Masters, you kind of grip it, hit it far. Fairways are wide. The Heritage down there, very narrow course. It's kind of a shot maker's course. It's really about the second shot, getting it in there. And yeah, Matthew Fitzpatrick, second shot on the third playoff hole. It would only have been better if it had gone in, but
It
he's
just skips on in.
he's a good golfer, and it's going to keep getting better. But anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We want to talk some golf stories. And Jonathan, you've got some special guests joining us today.
Yeah, I've got David and Eli Kirsch. David is the guy on my left. He's a little bit bigger. Eli's the guy on the other side, a little bit smaller. I've known David for, I guess it's been 2 or 3 years now through work. And whenever we got into this golf thing, first guy I thought of to come and be on the podcast. But actually, his son was the one I really wanted. I just figured his dad's got to probably tag along because Eli, for those of you who don't know, you should find him on, we'll get him a chance to talk about his Instagram handle and all that kind of stuff. He's just racking up trophies. Just a monster player. I've watched a couple of his videos and things like that, and think someday I want to play golf as good as Eli Kirsch does. So quickly
What a
to you
swing!
guys,
What a swing!
oh,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. And then yeah, I'm disappointed in myself as an adult. Although to be fair, today I found a picture of the very first time I went and played golf, and I was 21 years old. I had a total of 6 clubs, including the putter, to go try that out. And the only thing I knew was that you had to tuck in your shirt. So I had like a black dress belt on because I didn't know anything else about golf. Uh, so from the weekend, guys, I know we'll talk about a little bit about your tournament that you played in this weekend, but for the RBC, did you guys have any special moments, something that you saw that was just sort of cool?
Well, we were outside doing some yard work for most of the day. We had a couple trees down in the yard from storms gone by, and so we had been doing that. And Eli got a text from his buddy and said, "Hey, are you watching this come down to the end?" And yeah, after the golf watching experience that is the Masters, where you are fixated, we felt like we probably needed to spend a little less time this week watching every single shot. And so we came in to watch them finish off 18, Spieth's putt to push it to the playoff, and then the subsequent playoff after that.
How about you, Eli? Anything stick out from the weekend?
Well, um, Spieth, hitting that shot and making that putt to make the playoff was really exciting because me and my buddy who asked me if I was watching it, he said, "Are you watching it?" And so I started watching it, and I was happy that he made the putt because that's both of our top favorite golfers.
All right. Well, that's actually going to lead into some of our questions too. So, Eli, these questions are for you. Just trying to figure out about your golf game and if we can get any tips, hopefully along the way. So, when did you first start playing golf?
Well, I started at real tournaments. I started at about 5 or 6 years old, but I started hitting around at like 2 or 3 years old.
You don't have any pictures of you or videos of you shooting golf balls into washers and dryers, right? No,
No.
no Rory footage out there. All right. What do you like most playing about golf, or what do you like most about playing golf? Sorry.
I like I like hitting the approach shots up to the green. I like seeing the ball land on the green, and I like playing with all my friends and stuff.
Do you hit the green a lot?
Yes.
Whoa, sorry about that. That's not normal for the rest of us that play golf. I mean, I like that look too, but it rarely happens for me. It
That's
sounds
actually
like
what
you
you're supposed to
played.
do, Jonathan. You're
I
supposed to
see.
do
Yeah,
that.
I visualize it. It just doesn't come true. So it sounds like you've obviously played more golf than me or maybe most of our listener. Uh, what's your favorite golf course so far?
My favorite golf course is Pinehurst number 4.
Pinehurst number 4. That's pretty specific there.
How
Do you-
many of the Pinehurst courses have you played?
I played just number 4 so far, but this year, where am I gonna play this year?
You're playing down in the Pinehurst area for the U.S.
Pinehurst
Kids
area for
World Championship,
Very nice.
and you played the Cradle.
and the Cradle.
How was that?
Pinehurst,
I've been telling Jonathan about the Cradle. How was that experience?
It was fun. Like I got to hit a lot of irons and a lot of wedges, and I got to play without my shoes on and untucked shirt, playing around with my friend.
I
no
heard it's a
shoes.
very relaxed
No
atmosphere.
shoes.
All right. That sounds like my kind of place. Like if we don't have to wear shoes, that sounds perfect. Um, do you have a preferred golf ball? I guess I should ask, are you sponsored yet by any golf ball, or do you just have a preferred golf ball? Which, by the way, if you're listening, whoever you say next could maybe become your first sponsor.
I mostly play now a TaylorMade DB5Xs.
Okay. Do you have a
Those are the
special
ones. Yeah, those are the ones you can get a logo on it now.
Yes.
do you have a special way that you
Yeah,
sign
what's
that
your
ball
logo?
whenever you toss it in the crowd?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
All right.
Just mark it with a line, right?
Yeah.
This question is just for Eli, but who is the better golfer, David or you?
Hmm. I would say I could hit a lot more different shots than him, but he could shoot lower. But I can hit a lot more different shots.
We'll allow rebuttal.
So,
Kirsch, what do you think?
I think we're from the appropriate tees for distance off the tee.
All right.
I think he has a chance this summer if we lined it up and we went fully toe to toe from the appropriate tees. This might be the summer he gets me.
Well, now you've talked about this. He has a little bit of drive and motivation when he's out on a golf course. So do you think he'd beat you in the mental game?
Yeah. Oh, he's way mentally stronger than I am on the golf course. It's not even close. I may have the caddy part down, but the actual golfer bounce back. There's a lot of times where he will hit a 10-foot putt for birdie and knock it 4 feet by because he's trying to make it, that I would be trying to get that just as close to the hole as possible because he knows he's going to make the 4-footer coming back. And that's where we have a lot of different mentality on that.
Yeah, I'm definitely a lag putt guy. They say the perfect distance is 18 inches. I think they meant 18 inches past the hole, not 18 inches before you get to the hole. So most of my shots end up like, I'm just hoping for my bogey by the time I get to that point. So I believe you just came to the Masters. Is that the only PGA tournament that you've been to, or have you been to other ones?
I've been to, what was the one in Ohio that we went to?
Bridgestone
The
Invitational.
Bridgestone Invitation.
Okay. And then this
And I
week
think that's
you,
it.
you had a little this past couple weeks you had a little behind the scenes spot for the Masters, right? Go ahead and talk a
Yes.
little bit about that.
So my friend who invited us, he
You can plug his name. It's okay.
wanted us
You
to,
can say who it is.
yeah, Knox Mason.
All right.
He won the drive, chip, and putt for his age group. In pouring down rain, had to make a 30-foot putt, and he made it in pouring down rain to go to Augusta. And he invited all of his golf friends and the dads all to come down. And then he was doing really good the first part, but then he kind of messed up a little bit on the chipping a little bit. So he had to win the putting to have a chance. And he won the putting by putting it 1 inch from the hole.
It's crazy. How would you have put it in?
Probably not.
Okay, I thought you were about to say probably. But that's fair.
No.
All right. So this next question, and I'm rooting for you, but I kind of hope your answer is no. Have you ever hit a hole in one?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, every
Not
other
yet.
aspect of golf, not yet, right? Yeah. All right. So what is the best shot you've ever hit?
One of the best shots I've hit was it was the shot on number 14 at Pinehurst number 4. It was a par 3, and I was hitting a longer iron that I usually didn't hit well with those clubs. And then I hit it to like 5-10 feet, but then I missed the putt and I two putted.
You could have just told us you
So,
made the putt. I mean, I appreciate the honesty since, golf is a game of character, but I'm gonna like, then I drain the putt. All right. So this last question is for David. Just talk about your side as a dad, caddy, watching a young man. You're 11, right, Eli?
yes.
Yeah. So as you're watching your son kind of mature and grow, both in golf and in life, just what's it like from your side watching this happen?
Um, it's just about the coolest thing that you would think that it would be. It's been fun to see, you know, or you talk to other dads and you get to talk to them over and over, and you see the same dads, and you talk to some of the ones where their kids are aging out of certain things or certain categories, or when the dad can caddy and how many events dad can caddy at, and they're like, dude, just do it at every single one that you can. And so we do it, and I'm thankful and that work is pretty flexible, and both of his grandfathers are retired, so he gets them on the bag from time to time. But we went from watching the U.S. Open 4 years ago and finding out that there are actual tournaments for kids his age, and figuring it out from there. He won his second start ever and was hooked. And now we talk a lot of strategy, and it's not so much swinging. He's never doesn't have a coach, no lessons, that kind of thing. But this year I'm barely reading putts. I only get called in if there's a question. I kind of back off, and we do strategy up to the green, and then on the greens now it's kind of his show. And just that maturation and seeing him and his buddies, that's really the coolest part. He's got a really good core group of friends, and just seeing them, how they interact and become little gentlemen of the game.
Sounds great. I know Robbie's son plays golf. We've been talking about whether or not Archie's going to be beating him soon. And Micaiah just picked it up. He's a year older than you, Eli, but he's a couple years behind, it seems. So we'll have to really get out there and grind on him now. So,
Yeah, my son just turned 18, and he hasn't beaten me yet, but he is starting to outdrive me. He can hit the golf ball, so it's only a matter of time. You might pass your dad before Archie passes me. So, but that's great. So let me ask you this question. I see the flag behind you, and I know, looking at your Instagram account, you play on a lot of different tours for guys your age. What all tours do you play on, and maybe tell us about the flag behind you?
The usual tour that I usually play on is the U.S. Kids Tour for Nashville.
Okay.
And I also play on Mid-South and Sneds.
Okay. And that's Brant Snedeker's tour, right?
Yes.
a Nashville guy. Have you gotten to meet him before?
I've met him a few times at tournaments caddying for his son.
Oh, cool.
Oh man, we almost forgot about that one.
Yeah.
We did forget about that one.
What's that?
There was a tournament that was that was 2 years ago?
That was last year.
It was the beginning of last year. We were playing in a tournament, and Eli was paired with Austin's Brant Snun, and Austin and I are standing on on the tee box. On there's always a weight in junior golf, and Austin and I are talking baseball, and Brant and Eli are down at the river talking about fishing on that. And but on the ninth, that was the one on the ninth hole. He hit his ball in a divot, and he had to make a birdie to get to a playoff. And he has about 90 yards out in the middle of a divot and hit it to 3 inches and made the putt, and then won in a 6-hole playoff.
Man,
I forgot all about that. Jeez.
The next Matthew Fitzpatrick right here.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
Congrats.
Well, that was great. We're going to jump now to our quick nine. These questions are going to be for you, Robby. I'll go ahead and start off with the first one if you want to jump in on the second one there.
Yeah.
So
both you guys can answer these, by the way. Y'all can.
That's right. Yeah, we want to hear from both of you. What 3 pro golfers would you want in your foursome?
I would probably want John Rahm, Max Homa, and Justin Thomas.
That's a solid.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Max Homa is a household favorite for us, but yeah, I'd say Max. I don't know if I could handle JT for the whole time. He talks just a lot, so I'd say Max, John Rahm, and I'd probably go with Spieth in that category.
Okay. Well, if y'all are playing in the same tournament, it might be who asked who first, right? Who would they pick? Would they pick David or Eli's team?
This guy right here.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask this. I'm going to say if, but let's change it to when. What is and when you win your first major, which one would you want it to be? Like, which one is your favorite major in golf?
My favorite major is Augusta, the Masters, and the first one I would want to win the U.S. Open first at St. Andrews first, but I would like to win the Masters, but I would rather win the U.S. Open at St. Andrews.
Okay.
British Open.
Yeah, I got you.
I'll rename it once you
That's
win.
Great.
How about you, Kirsch? Which major are you going to win?
The Masters, because you get to go back for life.
There you go. That's the right
Yeah.
answer. All right. Which one would you pick? Flop shot or bump and run?
Flop shot.
Flop shot?
Flop.
Why the flop shot?
I feel like I can control it more than a bump. Bump, it feels like I might want to hit it thin, or I might just stab at it more. But a flop shot, I know I can make good contact.
See, mine like because it looks cool, and he's giving me like actual strategy on why it's a good shot or not. What about you, David?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it a little lower. I'm somewhere in between a flop and a bump shot, but he uses his 60-degree on every single shot you could hit. So for him, that's super comfortable. I like to use the bounce a little bit. He's not afraid to use that leading edge.
I'm putting from 30 yards out.
Yeah,
I'm pretty good at it too.
He makes fun of me because I putt from way off the green at times, and that's one of the things we're working on for Pinehurst area this year is to have that shot in the bag because you need it on those greens.
Absolutely.
Right.
I like the bunker shots where you think you're going to hit it, nice and perfect, and then you hit your wedge about 200 yards because you blade it. So I don't know. Y'all probably don't do that anymore, but I'll do it every now and then. What's the go-to snack on the golf course? Like if you're hungry, you need some energy. What's the go-to snack coming out of the bag?
Usually peanut butter crackers or cheese crackers.
Okay. Good choices. David?
Is that a hand-me-down from Dad?
We do crackers and granola bars. I lean more toward the granola bar, those green honey and oat Nature Valley granola bars that everybody who's ever been to a golf course has had.
Yep.
That's my go-to. So we usually just pack the bag with a bunch of that and go from there.
Good choices.
We might have had a little preview of this one. Jordan Spieth or Justin Thomas?
Justin Thomas. I
Thomas?
like Justin. Yeah.
All right.
I'd lean more towards Spieth. But he and JT have that same level of confidence.
They do. They do. And you mentioned JT talking. It'd be fun to it's fun when the cameras zoom in on Spieth and Michael Greller as they're debating back and forth on what shot to hit. And yeah, it's fun. So all right. Would you rather have, Eli, the perfect drive, the perfect approach shot, or the perfect putt?
I would rather have the perfect drive.
Okay. Why is that?
Because at most of the courses that I play at, there's usually a lot of like trees and high rough. So I would rather hit it like right down the middle perfectly, usually how far it goes, and then have just the regular shot in.
Yeah.
That's
Makes it a lot
actually-
easier to hit from the fairway.
Yeah, that's actually my answer too, because that sets up everything else. Although I'm way better at recovery shots than most. So
Those of us who aren't as good as Eli have to become better at recovery shots.
yeah.
All right. So this is a question I've been wanting to know for a long time. Eli, we'll start with you, but be honest, I'm just really interested in your dad's answer. How many hats do you own?
15, 20.
All right.
15 to 20.
Okay. How about you, David?
I did the count for you.
You owe me a picture, I thought.
I'm north of 82.
That's fantastic. Do you guys have a favorite hat?
I like the hat you're wearing now, the Tennessee with the.
Yeah, this is I got this year. This is a new favorite. I've been wearing this one kind of around. But I wear bucket hats a lot when I'm out on the course, because as a guy who's follically challenged and who shaves his head now, and I don't want to go to work looking like Stuart Sink. That's always like the worst, terrifying thing. So Nike and Puka makes a great bucket hat. It's lightweight and just big enough, but doesn't look like you're wearing a sombrero either. So
Very nice. I was thinking we need some best ball bucket hats, Jonathan. After seeing, so he told you about his original golf picture. He's got this old school bucket hat on. Yeah.
I thought that's how you played
Very
golf.
nice.
with that tucked in shirt.
With the tucked in shirt.
When you play, do you like to walk or ride?
Walk.
Yep, we're walkers if we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tour. It makes sense.
Yeah, we played in
And
some tournaments with some dads who don't want to walk, so they'll get the cart if they're allowed to, and shepherd that
One of
around.
the last tournaments, every single person in my age group, there were like 2 or 3 good players in my age group, and they were all riding, and me and my friend were walking the whole course, up and down hills, over bridges, like walking a lot.
Well, your dad's on the bag, right? So you're just sort of handing him the towel and making sure you don't have to worry about. I think in high school, when you get to middle school or high school, you got to carry your own bag once you get to those things, right?
Yes.
All right. And then, I mean, this goes to how much walking you can do. What's the most holes that you played in a single day?
27 or 36. I think I've played 18-9, but I think that's the most I've played.
I think you've done 36.
Yeah,
Aspen Grove.
I've done 36 at Aspen.
That sounds like a long day. Do you remember what you shot on the second 18?
It was
Better than the first.
100% better. Like
2 or 3 over, I think.
Yeah,
I think it was like 5 over after the turn at the end of the first part.
At the end of the first, and then I shot like 2 over. I think I shot 30, 70, like 4, I think. 74, 75.
All right.
That's great. Well, hey, we're done with the quick nine, but let me ask you, talking about scores. What's your best score, Eli?
My best score is 2 under at Two Rivers.
Okay. David, I don't know if we want to ask. What's your best score?
I think in high school I shot 66 a few times. It was not par 70 though, so it was only 4 under. So, but
Okay.
that's the lowest I've got. I was gonna say to Jonathan's previous question though, I did play 152 holes 2 summers ago in one day.
What?
My brother and I did the summer solstice challenge at Sweetens Cove, and we came in second place that day. Somebody beat us, but he played as a single, and he like legit ran. But we played 152 holes from sun up to sundown.
Do you have to walk, or did you ride that one?
Bits and pieces of both. You had to alternate the nines.
What's your take on Sweetens Cove? I hear people love it, and I really want to get over there and play it somehow. Give us y'all's opinion of Sweetens Cove, your review.
Well, that's where he won his first tournament. So,
oh man, that's a good one then.
It's always partial. I'll say, as a Sweetens Cove veteran, it is a fantastic golf course that's lost maybe just a little bit of what made it awesome in the very beginning. It's almost one of those things that everybody found out about, and it got really, really cool. And when we used to go out there in the beginning, you could pay like $50, and I mean, you literally just slid it in through a old outlet on the porch, and then you just go out and play as many holes as you can get in, and there'd be 15 other people out there. And now you got to reserve it way in advance, and it's way better for them as a business. But as the early adopter to Sweetens Cove, it was more fun when you could just show up randomly and get 36 holes in real quick.
Yeah. That's sweet. Yeah, I know it's a long waiting list, but yeah, that is a lot of golf.
I'm tired after 12. Like, honestly, which, to be fair, by the time I get to number 12, I'm probably 20 to 30 shots more than what you're playing at 36. Like, who knows where it's going to end up by the time I get to that point. So I got to start practicing that way. Whenever Eli invites us to the Masters for the Monday after, we'll be ready to go. I live here in town, so I wouldn't have to go anywhere. Just stay. Actually, Eli, here's a good deal. Whenever you make it to the Masters, we'll let you stay at my house. You guys can come over. We'll make it the whole family spot. You won't have to worry about. Now, granted, if you're an amateur, you probably don't want to stay at my house. You should stay at the Masters, right? Go upstairs. Yeah, go to the Crow's Nest for sure. But once you become a pro, my house can be available for you. Your whole family can hang out. We'll have a pool, putting green, maybe even a small par 3 we're working on. So it'll be fun for your family. You can focus on golf, and that'd be a good time. Won't even charge you. We'll just have you sign things or something like that.
There you go.
Well, listen, this has been fantastic, Eli. Really excited to see what happens next. No pressure. I mean, saying
when's the next tournament? When's the next tournament? Come on.
Technically,
yeah, you got tomorrow, 3 this week. Yeah.
Technically, 1 tomorrow and 2 on the weekend, I think.
You go Thursday?
Thursday, and then 1 on Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll be cheering you on, and our listener, I'm sure, will be eager to check and see how you did. This will come out on Thursday, so hopefully you already have 1 win in the bag, and on the ride back on Thursday or Sunday, you can listen to yourself and be looking at your trophy at the same time. So
there we go.
Yeah.
We'll make sure we tag you guys.
Yeah,
awesome. Well, I'm Jonathan, my buddy Robby, and my good buddy Kirsch and his son Eli. Absolutely find Eli on Instagram. We'll make sure to tag him and everything. Follow along this kid's journey. Super excited about where it might go. And if nothing else, listen, enjoy golf with your dad. Have a great time. Sounds like you're already halfway there. Appreciate everybody, well, at least one person, listening to the Whole Story podcast brought to you by Best Ball. And we'll catch you guys next week.